tracks play. Let's do this. If you were an operator and you consult for operators, and this is what your business is, Richard Marcus Books at richardmarcusbooks.com, what is it that you could absolutely do to prepare your staff? Because your pit boss didn't make a lateral move to open this casino. He was a floor person at another casino. Mm-hmm. He applied for a new casino opening for a pit manager's position. So he's new at a pit boss. The floor person is new as a floor person because they were a dealer somewhere else. Now they're not making a lateral move. They're going to open a new casino as a floor person. So they're new at their position. You have brand new ice cream scooped dealers because they're local, 80% local residents that they are mandated to hire by the legislature. So they're brand new, and probably the shift managers are brand new. They probably didn't take
at least in the position.
The position. What can you do as an operator to prepare your staff? Because no matter how much training you put somebody through, when the real world, when you're out there and the bullets are flying over your head and you're laying on that, crawling through the mud and the barbed wire and everything, you're scared and your emotions take over. So you forget what you learned in school because you're reacting. It's human nature. The blood's pumping and everything. The adrenaline's going.
I'm going to tell you what you can do. Bruce, what is the name? If you could say it, because I know it's a tongue twister, what is the name of the conference that I held in Las Vegas last month? What is the name of it?
Global Game Protection Conference and Table Games Conference, something like that.
Oh, almost. I told you it is a tongue. It is a tongue twister.
GGFTPO.
I fought with myself for hours and hours and hours how to shorten the name. And when you try and just go with the GGPC/GTGC, it's even worse. Okay, but it is the Global Table Games and Game Protection Conference, or the Global Game Protection and Table Games Conference. And that is the answer to your question. I'm not saying that going to the conference is the answer to the question. I'm saying that the reason I conceived that conference, and it's the best piece of advice I can give operators to casinos as far as game protection goes, protecting the whole casino floor, slot machines, electronic table games, and table games, is to train, because you kept mentioning the word training, which is so important. We all know that, but is to train your table games staffs together with your surveillance staffs, the training, because they need to be on the same page to make their operations connect and join each other to have an overall better effect in protecting the casinos. A lot of casinos do not do that. They train table games separately. They train surveillance separately. But what they don't realize is who really is the first line of defense in a casino. In casinos, it's not surveillance, it's table games, right? And that's why I actually went ahead with this conference, is because nobody's doing that. There's never been a conference that merges table games and together, and you know what? I have people who want to challenge me on that. The first thing they say is, well, if you train them together, that opens us up to more inside scams. And my answer to that is, first of all, it's so few people that are going to, participate in an inside scam against your casino, that even if it happens once, the overall losses you're going to suffer due to bad game protection practice, because you don't have the cooperation between the two departments, is minimal to what you're going to lose by not doing the right thing. And secondly, you know what? If people want to cheat their own casino from the inside, and table games wants to hook up with surveillance, a bad apple in table games wants to hook up with a bad apple in surveillance, they're going to find a way to get it off. They're going to find a way to do it, right? So that's all. That's all I would say. First and foremost, train your staffs, your table game staffs, and your surveillance staff together. And I just want to say one more thing: Wynn Las Vegas, and it's probably the same for all the Wynn casinos. They're the only casino that I know of that actually has a job title called Game Protection Manager. Okay. Of course you have, or Game Protection Director. Of course you have surveillance directors and you have table games directors. But Wynn is the only one I heard that has Game Protection Director or Manager. And that person is not really a part of either department, table games or surveillance. It's it's a department between the two. And this is a great idea. And that's to me, that's the.
How does that work out for them? What's the results of that? Do you know any statistics?
Well, yeah, I'm sure that Wynn has a high percentage of success in comparison to all casinos as far as game protection goes, because they don't stop at anything, but I can't give you a statistical number on how much that particular position they've created has improved their overall game protection operation. I just know it's the right thing.
I think it's a good idea. I have never heard of the position, and going through my mind, it's a good idea to have. And it is, as you say, it's somebody independent from both departments. It's its own department, but there's got to be a set of guidelines. If something pops up, it'll be like the IA department, like an internal, or in the police, internal affairs.
Right.
I don't know the logistics of what Wynn is doing with this position, this new position, Game Protection Manager or Director. Okay. So, I don't know if it's the training is the training, however they do it, however anybody does it. But even lacking that knowledge, I can say that just the fact that it represents a liaison between the two integral departments to game protection is going to have a positive effect. So does that mean the person in this position analyzes reports from table games, also reports from surveillance, because both departments have their own analytics? I don't know the particulars of all that, but the concept of it's the first time that I've seen any casino do something that seems to encourage or encapsulate having those two departments working as one in the field of game protection. Because as it is now, we have a surveillance department and we have a table games department. Now, for the first time, we're seeing a game protection department. And I'm sure that's going to develop, and it's just a great idea. And there were, let me point out, there were several attendees at the conference from Wynn. And there were several attendees at the conference from Wynn when I did my Las Vegas open seminar to all the casinos back in 2019. So maybe they're taking to heart what I'm saying, because I said that then, and I say that to all the properties that I train at, that the two departments should be trained together.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that for sure, that whoever this person is in that position, what they will probably be doing to be sustainable within that community of both of those departments, and being very proactive in setting up metrics to measure the results of their efforts.
That position is probably going to be high paid, because it would be an important position, and it is somebody in between operations and surveillance. So you're going to be in the range $60,000 to $80,000 a year, roughly. So you need to justify that. And as Bruce says, there's got to be analytics. There's got to be plenty of information to justify that position. And he's got to plug the holes. Mm-hmm. So
it's a great idea, I think.
It is. So I like it. I like it. And I'm in my head, as I said before, I'm revolving. If I'm ever in a position where I could use this, I will bring it in, of course.
So Richard, going to the conference of this, difficult for me to say the name, tongue twister, Global Game Protection and Table Games Conference. You're planning to have it again next year?
Possibly and probably. This is a great story, Bruce, to throw in off your comment of that tongue twister. For the conference, I had a couple of celebrities advertising it. I don't know if you saw it. I had one with Pete Rose, and I had one with Reggie Jackson, where they spoke about the conference about a minute. Reggie Jackson really made a tongue twister out of it. He called it the Global Game Protection and Tennis Games Conference. And then we sent him we sent it back to him and said, Reggie, you screwed up a little bit. You got to do it again. So he did it the second time, and he called it the Global Game Protection and Table Tennis Conference. And then it was hilarious. And I was talking to Peter Mastroianni, my great sponsor of the event, and we were talking about it. And I said, hey, because I'm a guy with a sense of humor and I like funny stuff. I said, let's just leave it there. Let's just post it. We could edit it, and as he's talking, we could say, Reggie's telling you to go to the wrong conference. Just have that edited in, written into the video of the podcast. And then we got into a long discussion that would be insulting him. And I said, no, it wouldn't. I mean, come on. It's just funny.
I'm sure when he went to the bank to cash that $20,000 check you gave him, that
right, exactly.
He wasn't insulted.
Exactly. Exactly.
He was very happy.
But it was hilarious. And plus, when it looked like he did the background of when he did especially the first buff video that he did, it looked like he was coming out of a men's room in an office building somewhere. I mean, the background was terrible. So I said, Reggie, can you try to do it like in a nice like outside somewhere, sitting by a pool, not coming out of a bathroom? You know what I mean? But it was so yeah, it is a tongue twister. But getting back to your question, if I do this again, I thought about changing the name, but you know what? I think that's what drew people to the conference. The fact that it is a dual conference, Global Table Games and Game Protection Conference, or reverse it, Global Game Protection and Table Games Conference. I don't think the name is as important as the content. So I think I would leave it the same way. So that's it. So what were you saying, Bruce? Now you guys are glad I interrupted you with that Reggie Jackson story. You got to put that one in, right? Right?
It's in there. I'm not so happy and glad. Stop kissing yourself and everything. You know what I mean?
I hope we never meet in person. If you come to my conference next year,
we're coming. We're gonna come to help you. We're gonna
of course.
I might have to charge you double entry fee instead of
you offer me a free pass. What are you talking about? Don't take it back now, you stiff. Jesus Christ over here. How about the Game Protection and Table Games Conference that's global?
How about, and I'm serious about this, how about the Checks Play non-podcast?
We already went through that. Now you're going to be repetitive and stuff now, okay?
Because I thought about that. You. Like wait a minute, I know you heard me, but I thought about the Checks Play conversation.
Yeah.
But the Checks Play non-podcast is very catchy. I like that. Miguel, work on him. Will you? Work on him.
We got to put him back in the home, Miguel. That's what's going on. Who woke him up from the dead? Whose idea was this?
I thought you meant the nut house, not the vulture graveyard. I thought you meant the nut house.
That's why it's blurry behind you there, so we can't see the padded walls. What would it take for you to definitely do another conference? Because I thought, in my opinion, it was great for a first time out. There's things that you can't control that we said before. You can't control who can make it or not, especially with the pandemic. And there's things that come up. So
the feedback has been excellent. As far as I know, I haven't seen or heard any negative feedback. I don't think you have either. I probably.
I'm telling you, I'm not blowing smoke up your chimney. I think it was great. People said that.
Number one, you have to have it in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why is because a significant percentage of the speakers are from Las Vegas, and they're not going to travel.
I got you.
Okay. I don't think you guys are even old enough to remember the Las Vegas that I remember when it was really great. When I first started going there in the early 70s, okay, as a kid, 15, 16 years old, right? It was a terrific place. It had an atmosphere to it that you felt like you were, if you're an action guy and you're a gambler, you felt like you were in some extraterrestrial place. Because the atmosphere was so pure. It was gambling. There was only 8 casinos on the strip. It was intimate. Yeah.
No place.
The word was intimate. And it lasted up until the late 70s, early 80s. And then once the mob was pushed out in the late 70s, early 80s, it started to turn into, Steve Wynn, when he opened up the Mirage, that for someone like me, that destroyed the place. I mean, look at it now. When's the last time you were there?
We were there, Bruce. I was there in 2018, I believe. 18 or 19.
I thought you were going to say 1918.
No,
2018. No. Okay. Look at it now. If you want to go from, one casino on one side of the street to the casino on the other side of the street, and you want to go by foot, it's 30 minutes. Takes you half hour to cross the street.
Skywalk, yeah.
You go up the stairs, down the stairs, then you land 100 yards away from the intersection. You got to walk back, and it takes literally 20 minutes to a half hour to cross the street. Right. Mm-hmm. In the old days, you just ran across the street from one casino to the other. And it made it better for me. When I used to, for kicks, we used to, sometimes when there was so much heat in the casinos for cheating, and we just wanted to do something for fun, I would make a $2,000 bet on a blackjack table near the door. I mean, this was just for kicks. And if I won the bet, I would get paid. If I lost the bet, I just pick up the chips and run out the door, hop on the back of a motorcycle, and we were gone. And then we'd send somebody else in to break down the chips on the craps table and cash them out. I mean, you could do that in those days. I mean, we did that a lot just for kicks, right?
Isn't it a shame that you're comparing the future and advancements and so forth? You're comparing it to your ability to be a vulture. That's a shame. That is a shame for you to even admit that, to come out of your mouth. And that's recorded, and it's on Chex Play Casino Conversation, non-podcast.
God, put it on. I'm all for it. But really,
basing his joy or his displeasure in the advancements of civilization based on his ability to be a vulture.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Vegas, it's the buildings are so ugly. Jesus Christ. You mentioned the Aria and what's the Cosmopolitan. I mean, they're the ugliest buildings that are just sticking up out of the ground, man. For younger people, the younger generation, they don't know what the old Vegas was like. They have no clue.
And they don't need to, because they weren't here.
They don't need to.
They don't need to. They don't really need to. That was our time. Yeah. Our time is past. This is their time. And I said this before in another podcast.
Now, look at me. I'm reduced to doing these podcasts.
With a blurred background. With nothing back there. With an ugly background. Look.
But do you know that the conference it was on primetime national news in France?
It was great.
I mean, that's amazing. 6 million viewers. Wow. And and I still have no move. I'm waiting for the movie producers to call. You know, I've had an option. I've had an option on the book.
We called you. What do you? Come on, things are moving.
Hey, want to make a movie?
Things are moving. This is like a movie. Jeez,
you know what? You know what? The book came out in 2003. I've made at least $18,000 a year if you average it out since then, just on options from the book that were never exercised. I've made like $400,000 on options for the book that were never exercised, and so some major people had the options. People that were affiliated with the movies Scorsese made had option on it. The guy that did Rain Man, I forgot his name, but his people were they never actually took the option, but they were interested in it. But I just can't get, and the killer is that my book was originally supposed to come out in 2001, and then came the 9/11, and my publishing company was slow to get it out. It didn't actually come out to 2003. 6 months before my book came out, the book Bringing Down the House by Ben Mesrick came out. It was about the MIT card counting team. Mm-hmm. And as you probably know, the movie 21, which grossed $300 or $400 million worldwide, is based on that book. Mm-hmm. Had my book come out first, like it was supposed to, I can't say this, but I can say it's possible that movie would have been made on my book. People who've read both books, people that I don't even know, I've seen it on blogs, I've seen it, have said that, my book is much better, and it is a better story. My book's about, that's just about card counting, and there was so much card counting before that. And the only appeal that I could see is that it was college kids. Okay, but my book and my story is a Goodfellas story. The way I envisioned it as a movie, it would be done exactly the way Goodfellas done, with the main character doing the voiceover throughout the whole movie, the way Ray Liotta did it in Goodfellas, right? Mm-hmm. It would have been that kind of a movie. And I still get the options. I still get 20, 30 emails a year for an option, right? Now the option is still taken. It's going to expire soon. I'll get more people to take options, but it just never happens. It never gets taken.
Richard, yeah. So the name of the book is, again, what is the name of the book?
The name of the book in the United States is American Roulette. The name of the book in Europe and Asia is The Great Casino Heist. See, they told me to change the name, just like I'm telling you to change your name. Yeah, they told me the American Roulette was it was a vague title. It didn't mean anything.
Richard, what we're going to do, at least we're going to change the name for this episode for sure. But listen, okay. So they can find that book on at richardmarcusbooks.com.
Well, the best way to get the book is Amazon.
Okay, Amazon.
That's the best way to get the book, yes.
And say the name one more time, please, for our audience.
American Roulette.
American Roulette?
American Roulette. And the byline is my 25-year career ripping off the world's greatest casinos.
That's excellent. Great. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mr. Richard Marcus, the casino consultant, game protection consultant out there, and he's worldwide. And I wish I could say where you are right now, but it's a secret.
That's why we got the thing back. That's why the background is blurred. That's why it's blurred, right? You think I'm an idiot?
DB Cooper right here. But Richard, man, I tell you, it's been a pleasure today, man. I tell you, it's been really
always a pleasure.
A good honor for me. And I just want to thank you for being patient with us, with me, especially. I'm not a professional interviewer or conversationalist and things. I just really want to have.
Yes, you are. Your ego is just bigger than your capacity as an interviewer, like mine, I must say. Miguel is in between us to keep the rapport smooth. But I want to say something, that the content with this interview has been great.
It is. It really is.
The content has been great. Like Miguel, you really did well feeding off that game protection position that we create. That's very good. The content of this one is really good for the industry. So, I'll leave it up to you guys to do a good job with it.
Well, without you, we couldn't be here to talk with you. We really appreciate it. It's been great. We're going to be keeping an eye on you. We're going to be in touch so that you can keep us informed about the next conference or whatever that's going to be, event or celebration. Not a celebration, but whatever is happening in the game protection industry, table games industry. We know that you're going to have your hand in there somewhere, and that's going to make it great. It's going to really enhance the outcome of it. A lot of people will understand and receive the value of that because it's something it's a dying art. It's a dying breed. We know that it's still out there, but with people like you that's willing to share the experiences and to help casino operators out, that's really important. So thank you so much.
No, I appreciate that. All right, guys. It was great. And
always
thanks,
a pleasure, Richard. Be good. Bro.
Okay.
Thanks so much, man. We'll see you later.
Okay. All right. Let me know. Keep me updated. Talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Richard.
Okay. Bye-bye.